some may be here for recently claiming a series win at Missouri. However, the second game in Columbia ended up being the first loss of the season, snapping a 31-game win streak. First pitch from Wichita, a look at the starting lineup for the Sooners out of Norman, Oklahoma. Brought to you by Groundworks, Nellie Mackinac, Oklahoma. What does it say to you, Maddie Espinoza?
I mean, it's just a competitive team. They're stars. They work hard. They're strong. They can hit. They can field. They can.
Recently played on the road against UTSA. Went 2 1/3. Scattered 6 hits over those 2 1/3 innings there. Taste of Caitlin Beckerly. But it's Gabby Scott who's in the starting lineup once again. Sammy Hood and Taylor Solacek manning the middle. Beautiful day for some softball. Sellout crowd. Number 2 team in the country in the house.
Yeah,
as a former player, I would imagine that this is exactly the series in Columbia to Missouri. It's a brand new week for Oklahoma. Can't wait to see what Oklahoma can bring to the table here in the brand new week. Starting things off, Abigail Dayton for OU, and she watches the first one for a called ball. Dayton, the junior, batting average of .321 this season. The one thing you got to get used to in the Oklahoma lineup, good amount of lefties. That was the one thing you said as soon as you saw the lineup. Look at all the lefties, and what does that do when you have a pitcher like Alex Aguilar who is a righty trying to combat that?
I mean, I will say Alex Aguilar is pretty well at hitting that inside corner for lefties, which is not always a plan of attack for most people, and that could also be why she's the starter of this game, because she's able to hit that inside and not be afraid to move in a little bit on those hitters. So, I mean, it could go either way. I don't know. Alex has had some pretty good games in her, her repertoire with the really good teams. I mean, those top teams she's pitching against. So
how things go for Oklahoma. This is a team that is patient at the plate, a team that is really good at drawing walks, and no surprise, Dayton gets a leadoff walk to start things off. And now we see Nellie Mackinac-Marinas. That one in there for a called strike. Mackinac-Marinas against Mizzou, homered in each game against the Tigers.
Lord.
She's actually recorded a home run in 5 of the last 7. Runner takes off here in Dayton, but it ends up going foul. So another pitch coming for Nellie Mackinac-Marinas. Redshirt freshman out of the state of Hawaii. Had to redshirt last year after sustaining a season-ending injury in the preseason. But it doesn't seem to be affecting her this year with a batting average of .409.
And she is just aggressive. That could also be why she sees so much success, because she's aggressive. She's ready to hit. I mean, she's not afraid. She has confidence in that box.
Oklahoma with 60 home runs as a unit this season. She's responsible for 10 of them. Runner was dancing around for a moment, trying to test the arm and awareness of the catcher, Gabby Scott. Mackinac-Marinas, 38 hits in total.
Impressive.
Oklahoma already off and running here in the first inning with a couple of runners on the backs.
They're a great team, good athletes. They're well aware of their strong suits.
Well, the one thing you mentioned, Wichita State is going to be amped up, but sometimes that can result in maybe some misplays defensively.
For sure. Sometimes you get a little too amped up and you're not able to calm yourself down. You put a little bit too much pressure on yourself. So, it could go one or both ways.
Cassidy Pickering batting third for Oklahoma today, the left fielder. Sophomore out of Humboldt, Texas. Has 2 runners in scoring position and a 2-0 count in her favor. Made an immediate impact as a true freshman in 2024. earning an everyday role, playing the outfield, anchored the heart of the Sooner order. Appeared in all 66 games. Slash line of .389, .513, and .705. Ranked third on the club in on-base percentage. And that's the thing with Oklahoma. Even though names might be different, you're not used to the big ones that hang around for 4 years. Well, you do have players like this who are freshmen or in their sophomore campaigns, and you just look at them and go, oh, they still have a couple more years to go before they get to their moment where they're a fourth-year player. And they're already producing at such a young age. That's what makes it dangerous for so many teams out there in the country.
Yes. They're only able to grow over the years, especially with their coaching. I mean, they're getting great athletes recruited in, and then they're able to just build them and continue to build them.
3-0 count. She got the green light, but Pickering ends up fouling it off. You have 3 sophomores in the starting lineup for Oklahoma today. 2 freshmen, 3 juniors. Starting pitcher is a junior, and you have 1 senior. Juiced for the cleanup hitter, and Gabby Garcia. Mentioned the amount of freshmen in the lineup. Well, here's one of them from Chandler, Arizona. Gabby Garcia. Ends up taking the first one for a ball. She had a 14-game hit streak come to a close in that second game against the Missouri Tigers. The game that Mizzou won 3-1.
And they're going to be a little bit amped up over that loss. And, you know, sometimes that's not great for their opponent because they come out ready and hot after losing. Yes, they obviously clinched the series, but still, this is a winning team.
The 1-1 fouled off. And Alex Aguilar in a great situation here with a chance to get that first out for the inning. But you know, Garcia is going to make her work with a batting average of .390. She also is in double figures for homers with 10. Defending the plate, 1-2, fouled off once again. Good amount of people here for this one. Number 2, Oklahoma, Wichita State. Sellout crowd. They installed some bleachers in right field and a good amount of people there for today. Of course, you got a porch out and left. A few people out there as well. The 1-2 also fouled off.
I mean, she's just working it in the box. She knows what she's aiming for, and till it's her pitch, she's going to foul them off.
Patience gave a Sliger who took her spot, went 4 1/3 in relief and did quite well. But it's Alex Aguilar, the junior, getting the start today for Wichita State. And going after the first pitch was Parker, and Aguilar blows it by her. Ella Parker, .436 for her batting average.
Wow.
What's even crazier, her batting average.
First baseman,
Sydney Sanders, first baseman. Looking to keep things rolling for Oklahoma with 2 runners in scoring position. Free base over at first base now for the senior. Watches the first one for a ball. Sanders, a season ago, 242, 451, 637 for the slash line. She was third on the team with 15 home runs, drove in 50 runs in total. This one too tall, it's 2-0. Started off at Arizona State, was a first-team All-American as a freshman, and then ended up in Norman, where she has just continued to produce by putting it down the third base line for a single.
She just gets that down with ease, puts it in a perfect spot, and she's fast. I'm telling you, those Oklahoma girls, they are good. I mean, they got everything in the game. They really do. Just straight athletes.
Number 8 hitter Isabella Emmerling behind the dish today for Oklahoma. .254 batting average for the redshirt junior out of Martinez, California. Third stolen bag of the season for Bland. And now Dayton, talked about Bland having just 3 RBI. Well, Dayton's got 3. She has a chance to maybe make it 5 runs batted in if she can find a sweet spot in the outfield.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Aguilar trying to close things out. 0-2 count now. Oklahoma finding some good spots early on here in the contest. Went after the 0-2 and just fouled it off. Abigail Dayton, 2025 preseason All-SEC. Third-team All-American when she played with Utah. Just hanging in there, just protecting the plate, staying at 0-2. Season ago at Utah, batted .431, also was a stellar defender. .02 ends up hooking foul, and we'll see another pitch here. Just chopping away just to make sure that Alex Aguilar doesn't get the punch out.
She just keeps shortening up her swing. She's doing what she needs to do, fouling off until she gets the pitch she wants. So composed.
What's the famous line? If you want to be like me, ka-chow, is that the famous line there for cars? Pretty sure that's the case for Lightning McQueen as Nelly and McEnroe Marinas fouls this one off. Hey, if you're going to start quoting, Pixar movies, then game on. McEnroe Marinas end up singling earlier this inning. Barber switching it up, and McEnroe Marinas swings through it. It's 1-2. Last time out for Barber, scoreboard because she used it as a target. Second home run for Ellie Eck as a Wichita State Shocker. Wichita State trims it to 7. Heck of a way to start for Wichita State. You give up 8 in the top half, and your first hitter goes yard.
That's awesome.
Lauren Lucas, starting right fielder. Extended her hitting streak to 12 games with a hit yesterday for WSU in that 6-1 win over Central Arkansas. It was an RBI double for her in that 5-run win. First one, the Brooklyn Levonic ends up being just off the plate for ball 1. Levonic and Lucas both with the same batting average. Lauren Lucas at .429, and this is a freshman who's at .429.
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely impressive. To see that consistency in a freshman is just, that's really promising.
We've highlighted some of the younger players for Oklahoma. Same could be said for Wichita State with some of their members. Don't know if we'll see either of the freshman pitchers in Riley Neihart or Ava Sliger today, but they pitched yesterday in that win. You have Levonic, Gabby Scott, some freshmen that are really coming along for Wichita State. Levonic yesterday, she was 0 for 2 in the game, and then in the 5th inning, 2 RBI double. 3-1, fouls it off. Full count now. Yanni. Last time these two teams played, this was the final score, 8-1, and we've already reached it in the first frame. I know that following this game, there'll be some post-game fireworks, but we're already seeing plenty of them already here in this contest as Taylor Solajic takes the first one for a ball. Solajic at .321 for the batting average. Added to her walk total of 23 yesterday against Central Arkansas. A little ways to go, though, to catch up with some of the players for Oklahoma. They have 3 players over 23 walks, including Pickering with 31 on the season already at this point.
Wow.
Deal just lost the touch on that one.
It happens. Isn't nothing but a thing.
Deal 6-0 this year, 2.19 ERA. 28 Ks to 17 walks. Three balls, one who's really been seeing the ball well for Wichita State at the plate. You have Kirsten Deal, who came into the game giving up just 3 home runs all season, 2 here in the first inning alone. And Cam Compton, well, she's the one who's primarily been hitting the long ball. Just take a look at those numbers. Of course, the bottom one, 5 homers in the last 6 games. End up having a 2-run blast yesterday for Wichita State in the win against Central Arkansas.
I mean, it's her time to shine. She's had a few injuries and, you know, redshirted and everything, and now she's ready. I mean, 5 home runs in the last 6 games.